Hi kawan, welcome to EDC Ready. Today we are doing a first impressions of this guy. This is the CJRB Ria. Ria. There we go. This guy, I did not buy it new. I bought it secondhand off of my friend Shafiq. He's part of the EDC Malaysia. So you can check him out. Do follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he wants me to share his Instagram or not. But if he allows me to, his Instagram will be in the description box down below. And this is kind of a first impressions of this knife. I got this from him, I think yesterday. I took it out of the box. I looked at it a few times and I just left it on my table. And here I am half an hour later or half a day later, and I want to talk about this knife. So CJRB Ria, CJRB is a company out of Artisan Cutlery. I think it's their sub or their budget company. Just like how 10 gram is for Kaiser or Vanguard is for Kaiser. So this guy here, it comes with the carbon fiber scales and also the 12C27 steel. There, you can see it there. 12C27 steel. It is a Chinese company, and they do have other versions of this. The one that kind of caught my eye is the green micarta version with their proprietary powdered steel, ARMP, something like that. I can't remember what it's called. So my first impressions of this guy. First of which, when I got out of the box, I feel like these scales are very slippery. I do enjoy carbon fiber, but, and this is not a fair comparison because I'm comparing it to a knife that's way more expensive, but the ZT0450CF also has carbon fiber, but the carbon fiber is textured. You can kind of feel the weaves of the carbon fiber, and it's very nice. This kind of carbon fiber, I'm very sure it is carbon fiber. I'm not sure if it's carbon fiber all the way through. It might just be like a layer of carbon fiber on top of G10, but it's really slippery. It almost feels like a sticker. So I'm not a big fan of that kind of carbon fiber feel. My Ganzo had this kind of carbon fiber as well. I was not a big fan of it. Another thing that stood out to me was when I look at it, the pocket clip, it's done really well, and it does a few things right. First of which is that both the screws and the clip itself is recessed into the scale. Another thing I really like is that it's a really small pocket clip. Sometimes pocket clips can kind of be a little bit oversized for the knife. Okay, that's an example. This guy is not too bad. It's about the same length, but just a little bit fatter. This guy, nice and slim, and then the retention on it is really good. You have a nice spring, okay, but at the same time, it's not difficult to get your fingers under the clip. Unlike this guy has a nice spring, but it can be a little bit difficult to get your fingers under the clip because the ramp is a bit short. As you can see, that ramp there is just a little bit too short compared to this guy, whose ramp is actually just a little bit taller. Yeah, just a little bit taller, which means you can get your fingers under here quite well, quite easily, and I can push it down into my pants. I just like to do that to protect the edges of my pants. Now, another thing I really like about this, based on my first impressions, is that it looks like it's going to be a very easy knife to disassemble. It's a lot like the Survivia McKenna, where you have just two screws, one screw at the pivot and one screw at the back. And I'm not sure until I do the review, the disassembly, but I think these are both T8 screws, which is very nice. I do enjoy screws, knives there that, you know, all the screws you need to take it apart are the same size. Like this guy, these are all also T8 screws. Very nice. Now, one thing that stopped me from buying this knife in the past is that you only have one way of opening it, which is thumb stud using your thumb. There we go. I mean, you can definitely try it with your opposite hand to check it out like that. But if you just use one hand, you only have one way to open it. Okay, just like that. That is a lot like the ZT, which the only way you can open it one-handed is with the flipper tab. This guy, you can do flipper tab, or you can do the groove guard opening. On the spider close, you can open it with your thumb or with your index finger. So this guy only has a thumb stud on one side, and as a guy who likes to fidget, I like multiple ways of opening a knife. Like this guy, you can thumb stud, you can take it out with your middle finger. Okay, but the advantage of that is that the advantage of this is that you can really tune the detent so that it is perfectly tuned for this opening mechanism only, and you don't need to compromise it at all. Which is why this detent with this opening method is amazing. Like, it is pretty much as good as the ZT detent is, respective to the opening mechanism. Because if you have a knife, as I said, if you have a knife with multiple opening mechanisms, you kind of need to, you're gonna need to sacrifice the detent a little bit. No, if it's too strong for a flipper, if it's just nice for a flipper, it might be too strong for a thumb stud. If it's too weak for a thumb stud, it might be even weaker for a flipper, for example. But this Very, very nice action. It really just fires out. It fires out like it feels like it's assisted, but it isn't. It's a completely manual knife. See? Completely manual knife. Along with that amazing D-tag, okay, you also have this nice smooth pivot. It's extremely smooth. Okay, I believe it is on bearings. Yeah, it is on bearings. Very, very nice. Very, very smooth. It's damn near drop shuddy. Just look at this. Yeah, damn near drop shuddy. You can even see the indentation in my thumb there, right there. So the action is really good. The lock bar is actually quite soft. You know, sometimes you get lock bars that's a little bit hard, and I do not have one to show you, but sometimes the tension on the lock bar can be pretty high. But in this case, you get that strong detent, but you also get a pretty soft lock bar tension, which means it's going to be quite easy to disengage this lock and close it. My shadow box liners are very nice. These can go wrong like on QSPs, but the CJRB did it quite well. Very, very slim and tiny in the pocket to push it in and push it out. Very, very easy to hold it and keep it in your pocket. And yeah, so that's my first impressions. I've only used this blade once. It is relatively sharp. It is used, so it's not going to be as sharp as maybe if it were coming out of the box. But first impressions, I'm not really a big fan of this blade shape. It kind of has a little bit of a bigger belly than I would appreciate on something this small. But I'll let you guys know in the full review when it comes up. Okay guys, thank you so much, and thank you so much again to Shafiq for selling me this knife. Okay, thanks guys, and stay ready.